The Tesla UMC, Universal Mobile Connector. This is what the majority of Tesla owners are going to use to charge their car on a daily basis. Of course, some of you might have a high-powered wall charger, but in general, this is really all you need. It can charge your car at up to 40 amps, depending on if you have the old style or the new style, which is 32 amps. And even on a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, that's generally enough to get you a full charge overnight. However, I am running into a lot of people talking about having to unplug it every day, but they're not taking it with them. I could see unplugging it every day if you were bringing it with you, but unplugging it just for the sake of unplugging it or saving on the vampire drain that most electronics nowadays have, it's just not really present and worthwhile for the few cents a year that the UMC is going to use staying plugged in to your wall outlet, whether it's on a 120 or 240, or in Europe, I'm not too familiar with European standards for the charging, but also I believe 3-phase. So we're just going to use a 120, plug it into our kilowatt meter, and take a look at exactly how much power a UMC uses when it's idle, not plugged into a car at all. We are going to use this extremely cheap and undersized extension cord, but we're not going to plug it into the car. No need for that, just for this. Now, we got line voltage 210, not that it matters. Plug in the UMC. Light's green, good to charge if we wanted to. 1.1 watt, or 2 volt amperes. Now, in a residential setting, at least in the US and for the most part Canada too, not sure on European billing standards, but for residential, we are billed by the watt hour, not kilovolt ampere. So we're looking at this number, 1.1 watts. So let's calculate out exactly how much it will cost. Oh shoot, I'm leaking. Woohoo! Anyways, let's calculate out exactly what the cost is per year. So 1.1 watts, so 1.1 watt hour times how many hours in a day, folks? 24 hours in a day. And we're at 26.4 watt hours per day. Now we multiply that by, and we're just going to take an average of 30 days per month. So 792 watt hours per month. So 0.792 kilowatt hours. Multiply that by 12 months out of the year, and we're talking 9.504 kilowatt hours. I guess it does really add up. So let's just round it down. We're going to round it down to 9.5 kilowatt hours. Multiply by the national average of 12 cents per kilowatt hour, and it costs you a whopping $1.14 per year to leave your Tesla UMC plugged in to the outlet. I know, bank breaker, isn't it? Now you might say, well, it's waste of electricity. Yes, but plugs have a design life, a shelf life, or a useful service life, and so do the outlets. Plugging it in and unplugging it every day. So if you're charging your car daily, so it's not just plugging it in 365 times a year, it's unplugging. So you're talking, that's 365 plus 365. My math on the spot sucks. So 730. 730 times a year. Insert pulling out. Now we got cheap 120 volt plugs. Yeah, sure. But when you're talking a 1450 or a much more expensive outlet, that's all cycle lives and more corrosion. You're better off just leaving it plugged in, especially if you have to replace one of these, an adapter. These are 45 bucks. So eventually you will wear it out. Regardless, you're going to wear this out eventually. Maybe not this one, but whatever you're using for your daily basis. It's just not worth it. If you're doing it just to save some electricity, $1 or $2 worth of electricity a year. Big deal compared to the cost for doing that, plus then more flexing of the cords, so on and so on and so on. So if you're just charging at home and you don't take your UMC with you every day, plug it in, leave it plugged in. Now, a few exceptions are thunderstorms, lightning strikes around. So if you have some inclement weather and, well, the UMC is designed with some lightning or surge protection built in. It's still an electronic device plugged into the grid, and it's still susceptible to power surges. In that case, go ahead, give her a good old unplug. But for the most part, don't waste your time.